Hello, Startup Vision. I'm Jonathan. I'm one of the co-founders of Aircall and the COO, and I'm based in Paris.
Hello, Jonathan. How are you? It's good to have you on Startup Vision TV today. So what a success story. My God, 4 Frenchies disrupted the market through a cloud-based phone system. And now you transform those calls into data. So let's talk about that.
Sure. Basically Aircall is a cloud-based phone system. We've been live for now over 6 years. We are about 350 people split it between New York and Paris. Our vision is really to change the way phone systems are being used in the world, from moving from a classic hardware device that you have on your desk to a cloud-based solution that you can be set up anywhere in the world in a minute for any company. We are specialized more on SMB. And the big difference between Aircall and classic cloud-based solution that already exists is the fact that we are able to integrate all the voices, all the transcripts, all the informations about each call into the systems that companies are already using. We can think about CRMs for sales teams, but also for help desk, for support teams, and for every team into a company, basically.
Because those data that you are keeping, analyzing and providing to your clients, it's gold. In fact, it's the key to the business, to their business.
It is totally key. The most important, finally, when you are on the phone, usually for your in your business, usually it's very important conversations. If I take the example of a sales department, they're talking with prospects, so they're the future of the company. Or you can think about account management, they're talking with customers. So those conversations really matters. It matters to know what happens, what they say, how the person feels over the phone. Are we having the right conversation? Are we giving the right and the same experience to the people we speak with? And you think I just mentioned sales, but it's the same for a customer service department. That is even more important, because most of the business now don't have any more shops or whatever, and the actual shop you have is your customer service department. Is the only moment you speak with the customer service department, or that you speak with the company. So it is extremely important, and the companies really value the fact that they're able to read the different transcripts of a conversation, they're able to listen back to calls, they're able to analyze how things went, and in general to improve the way they talk to customer prospects, even candidates for a HR team. Everything is possible, basically, in that case.
Yeah, in fact, it's like a soccer match or tennis match that you have to review in order to get better. So it's very important. You're absolutely right. So your strength also lies into integrations. You are also an app marketplace. So with the $65 million that you just raised, what is next for Aircall?
That's a very good question. Actually, our strategy is really around integrations. We believe in the fact that to win the market into the phone system industry, you got to bring value, because historically, voice is just a commodity. You and I, we're talking. It's commoditized. There is not really a value here. The value comes from the fact that we push every conversation, every info into the data sets that the companies are using. And so that's why we decided to build a marketplace where software vendors can come to Aircall and say, hey, my business, whatever the software I'm selling, my customers expect to have a phone system that communicates with this system because it brings value. And so we allowed software vendors to build integrations on top of Aircall. Of course, we started as a small company back in 2015, 2016. We started to build our own integrations with big softwares like Salesforce, HubSpot, Intercom, Zoho, etc., etc. And we felt the traction on the market was insane, but also other softwares could integrate with Aircall. And so that's when things became interesting, because we built in-house 15 something like 15 different integrations, but the rest came from software vendors that really decided to build their own integrations with Aircall. And so we went from having to build all those integration in-house, which is very hard and requests a lot of development, maintenance, etc., to have companies coming to us and building them own. So you have this very interesting effect where the circle always comes back to the biggest. And so as we are becoming really a standard into the phone system industry and call center software industry in general, people are willing to work with us. And so you have this flying wheel where we have a lot of integrations, more integrations want to build on top of us, brings more value to our customers. Our customer wants to stay with us more. And so we sell more at the end. And so it's just a flying wheel.
That's great. So Jonathan, sales are your mantra. And of course, you know, it's very important. It's core to the success of a business. What is most difficult for you, do you think, going from 0 to 1 or from 10 to 100 million?
I think there is no really answer to that, because both are extremely difficult and they request very different skills. The 0 to 1 was, I think, psychologically the hardest, because you're always in the doubt. You're always in the doubt. You don't know if you're going to get a salary in the next month. You don't know if one morning you wake up and all your customers are gone, because it's just the beginning and you don't really know what you're selling even at that point. You're just selling something. You just need recurring revenue because you need to have investors that invest in you. And so it's extremely hard, especially you fix problem with scratches usually. So you hurt yourself to fix a problem and you create another problem. But it's not a problem because you are anyway in a deep shit. So it's extremely tough, the 0 to 1. But once you pass the 0 to 1, so you are the 1 to 10, let's say the 1 to 10 million, where you start to have a little bit of staff, you're still on the ground. Doesn't matter that you have staff, you got to stay on the ground. You got to keep your head very cold. But things start to get better, product improves, etc. Even though in our case it was extremely difficult. We had so much trouble with the quality of the product, the quality of the voice. Being able to just provide a good quality was one of our biggest challenge from 1 to 10 million. And now we are in this journey to 100 million that should come up in the next 2 years, hopefully, where now it's about the structure. It's about the people you recruit. It's about the management. You're not anymore really, things don't move forward just thanks to you. It's over this part of the company, which is actually interesting because sometimes it was very heavy, but now you have people that are better than you, that really master the work better than you, and that's such a good feeling because as an entrepreneur, you stay in that learning curve forever, because a good entrepreneur is a person that is able to recruit people that are smarter than him. And in the beginning, it's very tough because you always feel, wait, this guy is too smart and he's going to take my job one day. And actually, that's the good way to look at it, is that, yes, this guy should take your job one way, and expect that from every single person that you see. And the trust that you give to your employees is extremely important. I hired in the beginning of Aircall with my co-founders a lot of junior people fresh out of schools, and I'm seeing those guys today. They just know everything about Aircall, and today they are the managers after 4 years, 5 years for some of them, that today are still less than 30-year-old and manage teams of 20, 30 people, manage people that are 10 years older than them. And that's one of the biggest gifts you can have as an entrepreneur, seeing people growing inside what you built.
It's a beautiful story you're saying. And I would like to add a personal comment, because I know that you love the energy of an office. So you must have been very, very sad with the remote mode. Or maybe did you learn something else working differently?
Yes, I love the office. You're right. I don't know where you get that from, but yes, I love people. I love being surrounded. I love to be in a loud environment. I used to be a stockbroker, so I used to work in trading rooms where you're just sitting next to each other and it's just yelling the whole day. And I recreated that a little bit in our office in Paris, but also in New York. Um, and yeah, I just love being surrounded. And we are 350 people, and I still don't have my own office. I come and I sit in the middle of the sales. I actually have next to me a 22-year-old sales, which is funny, and I like that feeling. And yeah, confinement was, I think the hardest part was to think, okay, now I just work home, everyone works home, and I don't see the colleagues and so on. So yeah, extremely hard, and I was really worried. And actually, surprisingly, things went well. I think even people worked more than ever, from what I understood, because confinement was not really the remote. I think a lot of people say, yeah, now I was confined and I could work remotely, so I know how to work remotely. But it's a bit different because you were confined. Everyone was confined, so you were home, so you had to work. And I think people worked a lot, especially sales departments, every department actually. We didn't fire anyone. We kept everyone. There was nothing, no plans at all of laying off people and so on. So we stayed very focused. We were in the middle of our Series C, where, as you said, we raised $65 million. And so things actually went smooth. And my takeaway was that I need to trust even more about remote work, because it can work. That's my first thing, of course. Now I'm more open. I used to be very closed to that. Now I'm more open, but I keep in mind the fact that a company is about people. It's about our ability to create a community of people that work together, that strive together. And actually, post-confinement, we decided even to change our values to something more around striving together, working together, excellence, and so on. Open to remote, of course, that's okay, but with always this reserve where hopefully I want to create a community. I want to create something where when people come at the office, they feel like home. And that has been always my first the first thing I was looking at when choosing an office or when organizing the office, is that it feels home. I want
Yeah.
people to feel home.
Yeah.
Exactly. And one story that I love to tell is that one Christmas, one New Year's Eve, sorry, not Christmas, but one New Year's Eve, as we have a lot of foreigners and so on. One New Year's Eve was celebrated at the office. They organized their dinner at the office, ordered food, cooked, watched movie, listened to Christmas music. And we had like 30 or 40 people at the office during New Year's Eve. And I felt, okay, we succeeded in something, and is making people happy and feeling home.
That's beautiful what you say. Really, really, it's very moving. We can feel, that you really love your company, you love them, and the team you want to build is really, around you and around the company culture. So you said that being part of an accelerator, the Accelerator 500 startups, was a great plus in terms of team building between you four, the co-founders, but also about getting all the influences and the great people you talk to. Would you recommend to startups to be part of an accelerator, incubator?
It's a hard question you ask here, because you take away a lot of things. But do you need it part of your life? I'm not sure. What I'm sure about is that for Aircall, it was very good, because it pushed us right away to go international. We thought, okay, we are building a software, a phone system for companies anywhere in the world. So we need to be in the US. So if you need to be in the US, it's a good way to step there with being with other company with that same objective. So I think it will depend of your business model. And if you're in that case, yes, it's a good experience. First, because you get to to be confronted to the biggest market of the SaaS, of the software in general in the world, the most demanding. So people have everything. In the US, you can find a software for anything. I'm just waiting for the software that will make you go to the toilet, seriously. So anything. And it's a good way to take also a big slap in your face, which was our case. We came in the US, yeah, we are so cool, we are French, we are so smart. And we just realized, wait, our product is so far off what we need to build. It's so far off of the competition. And we realized that there, and so we reworked, we adapted, we understood things that we couldn't have understood from France. And so yeah, it was extremely benefiting for us. And at the same time, it puts you in a specific condition, where you're a bit like confinement. Your only activity is work. And I'm always thinking about my partner, Olivier, that is the CEO of Aircall, that has 3 kids, a wife, he was living in Spain by the time, and had to deal with all of that. And he took the decision to leave everyone behind. And okay, I'm going to be off my family for 3 months. Actually, it was 3 or 4 months, 3 months and a half, and just focus on Aircall and put all my energy in it, and which is what we all did. And having 4 people that work like donkeys every day, like crazy, you can never replicate that at home, in a normal office, etc., because you're close to your friends, your family, etc. And we could replicate that, and that gave us an incredible push, which basically in 3 months we achieved probably what we would have done in 6 months in Paris. And in terms of growth, we did time 4 in just 3 months, which was crazy. We were by the time doing small amounts. We were doing about 10K of MR, so 120,000 AR, and we quadrupled over 3 months, basically, which allowed us to then do our seed round back in end of 2015, early 2016.
So it was a great experience. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for sharing all those thoughts, and it was great talking to you, really.
Thank you so much, Startup Vision and Florence.
Bye-bye.
Bye.